Well, hello, and welcome again to our reading of the Greek New Testament. I'm reading through the book of Revelation, chapter 9, and I got up to verse 12. He uai he mia apaelthen, idu erkatai et idu uai metatauta. You may recall earlier this word uai appeared 3 times, the 3 woes, as it's translated into English. Uai is simply a cry of terror, and generally translated by woe. So this is and it's taken to be a feminine noun here, even though it's indeclinable. But so it's the first woe departed. The first woe departed, and behold, 2 woes still are coming metatauta after these. So, and after these there are still 2 woes are coming. Interestingly, it got a singular verb here, even though it's the 2 woes here, plural. So it's perhaps you could take this impersonally. Perhaps there comes still 2 woes after these things, but it's slightly odd grammar. Kai ho hektos angelos esalpisen, kai ekusophonen mian ekton tessaron keraton to thusiasteriou to krusou to enopion to theou. And this is the 6th angel sounded his trumpet. Kai ekusa, and I heard. Phone, well, it can mean voice or sound, so perhaps sound here. I heard a single sound from the, and in brackets, tesserone, not in the best manuscripts, and there's variant readings here. So it's from, reading this, the 4 keraton. This is the 4 horns of the, this is from Keras, the 4 horns of the thusiasterion is the altar of the golden altar, the one before God. Now there's variant readings here for the keraton. Some having the some omit this bit here, they just say from the altar. These are the 4 horns of the altar. And they're legonta to hecto angelo, ho ekon ten salpinga, luson tus tesserus angelus tus dedemenus epito potamo to megalo Euphrati. Saying, so speaking really, to the 6th angel, the one having the salpinx, the trumpet. This is the accusative, salpinga from salpinx. Luson, imperative, release the 4 angels. The ones bound, this is a perfect passive participle from deo, reduplicated, and there's your passive participle ending, accusative plural. So the 4 angels that are bound, epito potamo, upon the great river Euphrates. So just to put that all bit together there. So the 6th angel sounded his trumpet, and I heard one sound from the, well, 4 in brackets, the 4 horns of the altar of the golden altar before God, saying or speaking to the 6th angel, the one having the trumpet, release the 4 angels, the ones having been bound upon the great river Euphrates. Kai eluthe san hoi tesserus angeloi hoi hetemas menoi es ten horan kai hemeran kai mena kai eniauton hina apektenosin totriton ton anthropon. And the 4 angels, now we've had this in the previous bit, this perfect passive participle from hetoi masdo, to prepare. So this is the perfect passive participle, those having been prepared. So the 4 angels, the ones having been prepared, Ace ten horan, having been prepared for the hour and the day and the month and the year. So they were, now our main verb, eleuthesan, aorist passive from luo, they were released. So the four angels were released, the ones having been prepared for the hour, the day, the month, and the year, in order that, apoktenosin, subjunctive from apokteno, they might kill totriton ton anthropon, the third of mankind. Rather gruesome verse. Kai ho arithmos ton stratumaton to hippikou dis muriades muriadon. Ekusa ton arithmonaton. And the number of the stratumaton. Now, the stratuma is an army. And this is just the, so it's a third declension noun in ma. This is the genitive, so stratuma. The armies, so the number of the armies of the hippikou, of the horsemen, well, perhaps of the cavalry might be better here. So the number of the armies of the cavalry, understand, were dis muriades muriadon. So this is twice 10,000 times 10,000. Again, it's this symbolic use of 10,000. And akusa, so I heard the number of them. Sort of tacked on the end there. So I heard their number. Kai hutos adon tus hippus en te orase, kai tus kathemenus eparton, ekontes thorakas purinus kai huakinthinus kai theodes, kai hi cephalai ton hippon, hos cephalai leonton, kai ek ton stomaton auton ek poruatai pur kai kapnos kai theon. And thus I saw the horses ente orase in the vision. This is dated from Horasis. It's a third declension feminine noun. So in the vision, thus I saw the horses and those sitting, participle from kathemai, and those sitting ebauton upon them. Ekontes having thorakas from thorax, we get our word thorax from that. Thorax is a breastplate, which was purinos. This is an adjective to do with fire, so something like fiery breastplates. So breastplates that were fiery. Kai huakinthinus, and well, the colour of hyacinth. This is the plant, so it's a violet colour. Kai theodes, this is the colour of sulphur. We'll see the word for sulphur is theos. So these might be three colours here. So there might be the breastplates which are purinos, of the colour of fire, so that may mean red or ruddy, and the colour of hyacinth, which is violet or purple, and the colour of sulphur, which is yellow. So that may be the intention here. We get a nice triple. Greek likes things in threes, so these breastplates that were fiery, or the colour of fire, the colour of hyacinth, and the colour of sulphur. Kai hoi cephalai, and the heads of the horses, understand, were like the cephalai leonton, the heads of lions, and from their mouths, ekperuatai, fire comes out. So fire and smoke and theon, there's that word for sulphur that we saw, the colour of sulphur up here. There's the, so theon is the word for sulphur. So from their mouths there came forth fire. Now it's a singular verb, it's going with pour, and then these are added on, but that's okay in Greek. You often just do get a singular with one thing, and then they add extra things on. You don't necessarily need a plural there. So from their mouths proceeded forth fire and smoke and sulphur. Apotone, trione, plagon, tutone, apektanthesan, totriton tone, anthropone, ektupuros kai tu kapnu kai tu theou, tu ekporuomenu, ektone, stomatone, autone. And from the three, now this is an interesting word, plagon. We get our word plague, which is probably what this means here. These are the three plagues. This is presumably he means the plagues of fire and smoke and sulphur. Plagon normally can be used of a wound. It's connected with plaso, to strike. So plagon, a plague, it's a first declension feminine noun, plague. It means that which is that strikes you. And a plague generally does strike you and causes wounds, things which strike you. So plaso is to strike, is the verb underlying this noun. So from the these three plagues, now we get apektanthesan, which is a very unusual form. We've seen it before. It's an aorist passive from apoktano. You don't generally get the aorist passive of this verb in earlier Greek. And it's plural. The subject of it has to be totriton tone anthropone, which is singular. It's singular grammatically, but I suppose that the third part of mankind, it's being thought of here as plural, and hence they've got a plural verb. So as a result of these three plagues, the third of mankind was killed, from apoktano. So you get a vowel gradation from katano to katan, and this is the aorist passive. And then he repeats this, the three plagues, from the fire and from the smoke and from the sulphur, then the sulphur which proceeds forth. Now all of them are proceeding forth, but again it just links the singular participle here back with theou, the sulphur. So as a result of the fire and the smoke and the sulphur, which is proceeding forth from their mouths. So just to go back over that quickly. So from the three, so the third of mankind was killed from these three plagues, from the fire and from the smoke and from the sulphur, which is proceeding forth from their mouths. Kai he exousia ton hippon ento stomatia ton estin, kai entois urais auton, haiga urai auton homoio ophesin, ekusai kephalas kai en autais adikus sin. Now this exousia often means authority, but it may mean power here. So the power or the authority of the horses is in their mouth, in the mouth of them, we would say in their mouths, and in their urais. This is that ura, this first declension feminine noun we've seen before, meaning tail. So it was in their mouths and in their tails. Hai ga urai, there's the plural of that ura, and their tails were like to ophesin. This homoioi takes a dative. This is the dative plural from office, if you're looking it up. Its office is a snake or serpent. So their tails were like to serpents or snakes, and office, probably snake is better here, having heads and probably they would do with them, that is with their tails, dikusin, they were causing harm. This funny use of addicio. So they were, just to do that bit again, that the power of the horses was in their mouth and in their tails, and their tails were like those of serpents, or were like serpents, having heads. So this is feminine agreeing back with the tails. The tails having heads, and with them, we get a change of subject here, and with them they were causing grief, doing harm, causing destruction. Kai hoi loipoi ton anthropon, hoi uk apek tan thesan, and the rest of mankind, who, now here's that aorist passive again from apoktano, so who were not killed, en tais plagais tautais, so those who were not killed, probably that instrumental use of en by these plagues. So the rest of mankind, those who were not killed by these plagues or in these plagues, udi metanoesan, they did not repent, aorist from metanoio, they did not repent from the works of their hands. Hiname proskunesu sita daimonia kai ta aedola ta krusa, kai to agura, kai to kalka, kai ta lithina, kai ta xulina, ha uti blepain dunantai, uti akuain, uti peripatain. Well, this is interesting here. This verse 20 has very similar forms to Daniel 32:17, on which it's probably based. So if you're interested, you can have a look that up, Daniel 32:17. So they did not repent from the works of their hands, hiname, in order that they might not worship. Now they will not worship. Again, we're getting hina plus the future, not the subjunctive. One of the funny aspects of this writer and his use of Greek, generally uses the future, often uses it where we'd have expect a subjunctive. In order that they will not worship, and proskuneo takes a dative, and here it's taking an accusative. Again, it's odd grammar. In order that they will not worship the demons and the idola. This is the idols. We get our word idol from this. It's connected with that aid root of seeing, so things that you look at, and hence idols. The takrusa is the golden idols. It's that odd neuter plural here. It's originally krus ea, and they contract to give you this alpha. And the ta'agura, so the idols, the ones which are, so these are the demons and the idols, and then we get a whole list of descriptions of these idols, the ones which are gold, the ones which are silver, again you've got this funny forms of these here, the ones which are bronze, the ones which are made from stone, you know, lithos, a stone, this is lithinos, meaning made of stone, kai xulina, the ones made of wood, which, or perhaps who, neither dunantai are they able to see, nor to hear, nor to walk around. Again, we've got neuter plural here, plural verb. Sometimes you get singular verb, sometimes plural in this author. So just to put this one bit together here. So, nor did they repent from the works of their hands, in order that they will not worship the demons, the divinities, and the idols, the ones which are gold, the ones which are silver, the ones which are bronze, the ones made of stone, the ones made of wood, which, though these idols, we might say who, the idols who, neither are they able to see, nor to hear, nor to walk around. Infinitives here, this is from Peripatio. Kai u metanoesan ektone phonon auton uti ektone pharmakon auton uti ektes poneas auton uti tone, klematone, our tone. And they did not repent, aorist from metanoio, they did not repent from their phonon. This is from phonos, meaning murder. There's an old verb, it doesn't, I don't think it actually occurs, but it has, you get various forms of it, is phono, or sorry, pheno is the verb. We get that word phenol in chemistry and so on comes from this. The verb is pheno, which does only roots of it occur, not the actual verb itself, but it's been believed it must have existed. Pheno is to murder. You get phonuo in later Greek, I commit murder, and then phonos is the noun from this. So they did not repent from their murders, nor from their, well, pharmacone can mean drugs. It has more the sense here, it's from pharmakon. There's two words here. There's pharmakos, which means someone who practices witchcraft or sorcery, and there's pharmakon, which I think is what this one here is, which means witchcraft, magic potions. In earlier Greek, it has more the sense of magic potions and things, but I think he's using it here more in the sense of witchcraft. Varied readings again. Nor from their porneia, nor from their prostitution, nor from their klematone. You'll know the verb klepto, to steal. Klema is one of these third declension adjectives, as the nouns in ma. As I mentioned, these are quite common in later Greek. So klema is formed from klepto, to steal, and a klema is acts of theft. So just to finish off this last bit here, they did not repent from their murders, nor from their, well, perhaps witchcraft or magic potions, nor from their prostitution, singular, nor from their thefts, from their thieving. And that is the end of chapter 9.